All praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakakarash. I want to give a double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to the true and sincere brothers out there, the true prophets of the Lord that's prophesying and laboring in this truth and this doctrine. Unto you I say shalom. I'm going to entitle this lesson Scarce Resources, because that's something that's going to be a serious, a real issue here in America, amongst other countries. But the resources here are going to be scarce, and the main resource is food. Okay, that's one thing that everyone needs. All right, some people need more, some people may not need as much. One thing you need to survive is food and water. All right, those are going to be the main resources that are going to be scarce. And in this article right here is a prime example of the rising tensions in America, and food being a scarce resource. And also I want to go into the inflation, all right, that no one's really talking about, that has has risen and has continued to rise drastically, as we get closer to the end of this. All right, and you have to understand this is all by design by the devil. Okay, this is all for the purpose of fulfilling their new world order, where they want to corner all the resources, so you have to go to them for the one of all things. All right, where they're the only option. All right. Oh yeah. Well, the stores don't have any more food. The stores have been ransacked. Everything's been looted. So you got to go to the government, for your needs. But that comes with a cost. Everything that you get from this devil is going to come with a cost. All right. So let me read this quick little article, where it's basically the residents in a neighborhood in Queens and all those immigrants they let into the country. All right, which is obviously not it's something that's all planned. Okay, also they let a lot of immigrants into the country in order to push that digital ID, because it's going to come to a point where Esau is going to say, we have an influx of immigrants in this country. We need to know who. We don't know who's who. There's been several terrorist attacks at the borders, so we're gonna, switch over to a digital ID system. So everyone has to get a digital ID by this certain date, and that's part of the transition into this new world order. Okay, let me see something. All right, so let me read this article, because that's what everything is pushing towards. All right, they're making everyone fight over, resources, food, medicines, jobs. Okay, so we're getting to a point where this society is crumbling right before our face. It's spiraling. It's draining. It's draining it's circling the drain pretty much. All right, it reads. The influx of migrants is being felt in one Queens neighborhood, where the NYCHA tenants find themselves fighting over food with the newly arrived asylum seekers. We don't have to take the butt of everything, said George Butler, a Queensbridge house resident. This community is already suffering. So they go into Queensbridge, and I'm not from New York or anything, but I understand it's not it's a project or an area where where majority of Jake lives, where it's low income. Okay, where that's where they put the migrants. They're going to they bring these people into the country with not a plan for them, but they're going to put them down where Jake is at. So Jake is already fighting over resources amongst their neighbors or people that live in the area. So they're bringing more people in there to do the same things, which makes the resources even more scarce. Or he says the residents living in NYCHA's Queensbridge houses say they look forward to mobile food pantries that show up weekly. All right, and the food pantries are for the low income that don't have the money to every week or every 2 weeks to go and fill their house up with food. So the food bank or the food pantries come by and help them out. But over the past year, they have witnessed 8,000 migrants move into their neighborhoods and begin to make use of the limited resources available. They were first online for the turkeys in the morning, Butler said. They tell you to be there at 11 o'clock. You get there at 10:30, 10:45, but they are already out there. The line is from over there, it's over here. Free food giveaways, especially during the holidays, have become a source of tension between longtime New Yorkers struggling to get by and newly arrived migrants who are using the system to survive. 1 month ago, an altercation got so heated between a resident and a migrant that someone ended up in the hospital. And you're going to see more of that. All right, people they might not even make it to the hospital, okay, because someone's going to be put to death pretty much. All right, that's where it's going to get. All right, and not just in New York, but all these major cities, these metropolitan areas, and even the small cities, where and it's going to get to a point where people aren't as friendly, people are not as giving, people are going to be out for theirs. All right, looking out for them and their family. All right, the scripture says that. Okay, let me read this. It's a tweet or X or whatever the hell it is now, and it shows the inflation from 2020 till now. All right, and it says orange juice 232, 637. So it shows you, it gives you a list of all the things that people buy, that how the prices have increased. All right, and it's not to say, it says $15.56. That's $15.56 more. But has your pay rate increased that much? I don't know nobody that's got a $15 raise. All right, let alone a $5 raise over the last 3 years. Okay, so the rate of inflation and the cost of living is way over the top. This is nominal, and this is real. You're only getting a 0.6% raise. All right, overall. After accounting for inflation, hourly wages have barely budged since 2020. All right, let me see. This one says change in savings since Q1 of 2020. Top 1% went up. Let me see. And this is where, let me see. Everyone else is everyone else is still behind. Okay, based on holdings of deposits defined as checkable deposits and currency plus time deposits and short-term investments, ain't nobody got no money to invest. Everyone's borrowing from their 401k, from their retirements. All right, at the end of the day, ain't nobody going to retire. All right, those that are retired are probably going to have to go back to work. All right, that's how bad things are going to get out here in America. We're living in the times where, like I said, the title of this lesson, the resources are scarce. Okay, you have food trucks that come in and bring food every 3 days, every 2 days, or whatever it may be. Those trucks may come in every 4 days. All right, then every week. Okay, so and when they're coming in, all right, the price of the food is going to skyrocket. And people say, well, how is this going to happen? This ain't going to happen. They just think we full of shit. It's happening. Okay, it's maybe happening at a slow pace, but the Lord is going to speed things up. The Lord is speeding things up for the elect's sake, as it says in Matthew the 24th chapter. So these things are taking place. All right, the inflation, the scriptures even speak of inflation. Okay, let me start off with Second Ezra's. Second Ezra's. I'll start at chapter 6, but I'm gonna go to 15 also. Second Ezra 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. That's your storehouses. All right, and I ain't talking about your a lot of the malls and shopping centers. Ain't nowhere. Hey, people ain't gonna care about that shit. People are caring about the Costco's, the Walmarts, the Sam's Clubs, your your grocery stores. All right, those are the big one, the bigger ones. But even your smaller grocery stores, those are going to be found empty. Why is that? Because there ain't no trucks coming in. All right, the price of fuel is going to be out the roof. All right, so it ain't going to be even safe for truckers to drive. Okay, they ain't going to risk their life bringing in food to across state line or into another state. Okay, because it's going to be risky. People are going to just cut off the truck at the dam on the highway. All right, and ransack the truck. You see how niggas ransack these Amazon trucks. All right, how much more is something that they really need? You know what I'm saying? Niggas is running in and out of stores, smashing and grabbing clothes and shit or whatever, purses or whatever. But how about when it's food? How about when it's something that you need to survive? All right, you have kids that need food. People are going to bug out. People are going to be out for theirs. All right, and they don't give a shit if they got to kill you to get it. All right, that's people are going to result to these drastic measures that the scriptures speak of. All right, verse 23. And a trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And at that time, friends fight one against another like enemies. What are they going to be fighting over? Food. All right, probably more than likely medicines. Okay, shelter. All right, survival. People are going to be looking to survive. They're going to fight. Friends are going to fight against each other like enemies. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. For the springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. There's not going to be any running water. What if they cut your water off, cut your power off? All right, people don't realize your water is dependent on the power grid. So once the power goes out, that's it. All right, you get one flush of that toilet, and that's it. It ain't filling back up. Okay. Like I said, I wanted to jump over to Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. Second Ezra 15, and I'm going to start at verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And we know the modern day sword is the gun, or any type of killing instrument in that day. All right, people, if you don't got a gun, people are going to be trying to defend themselves with knives, shovels, whatever they have to try to defend themselves, to fight against another person for survival. All right, it's going to be mobs of people. They're going to be people that are mobs of people that are going to be going through neighborhoods, ransacking houses, looking for food. Okay, that people are going to resort to drastic measures in these last days. All right, when things get really tough out here, when shit get really tight, that's when people are going to resort to these drastic measures. All right, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're not going to regard mandates, curfews, none of that shit. People are going to be, hey, like, look, man, I got to feed my family. My family hasn't eaten in 5 days. I got to go out here and find food. They ain't going to give a shit about no curfew, okay, or what Esau said, or what they local mayor, governor, or president says. All right, people are not going to give a shit. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Why are houses going to be destroyed? Because people are going to be looking for resources, all right, mainly food, medicine, all right, a shelter, all right, essentials like matches, all right, things that people could use to make a fire, all right, blankets and jackets and coats and shit like that. Survival things. People. That's why the houses are going to be destroyed. Verse 20. Behold, saith the Most High, I will. Oh, excuse me. I missed verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. The lack of bread. All right. No food. All right. In America, it's so gluttonous that these people eat every fucking 2 hours, every 3 hours. A nigga gotta have a snack, or nigga gotta have a meal. These people don't know how to fast. Okay, they wouldn't even begin. They couldn't even do a 24-hour fast without having a snack. All right, these niggas that get to 12 hours and say they can't do it. All right, that's how gluttonous America is. All right. Okay, let me finish it. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, it's going to get to a point where people don't have food. They're not even going to put up a fight. All right, if someone comes in your house now, people have enough energy, to put up a fight. But when you ain't ate in 5 days, when you ain't ate in 6 days, and you had maybe a drink of water, you ain't gonna have the spirit. These people ain't gonna have the spirit to fight. They just gonna let people just do what they do, man. Let me jump over to verse chapter 16 and let me see. 16 and 21. But victuals shall be good so cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Food is going to be cheap, and people are going to think they're in a good case. And when evils shall grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many that dwell on the earth shall perish of famine. All right, there's a lot of people that's going to die just because they don't got nothing to eat, no water. All right, and then these motherfuckers are gonna die fast. They ain't gonna be able to last, months on end like those Hamite kids in Somalia and Kenya and shit. These motherfuckers gonna die out here because people are gonna, it's gonna be cannibalism is coming back where people are gonna eat their neighbor. All right, they're gonna be eyeing their neighbor's kids to eat them. All right, and the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy. And I want to read this scripture in the GNT because it gives it more, it brings it more to light. Second Ezra 16 and 21. The time is coming when food will be cheap that people will think a time of peace and plenty has arrived. But then disaster will spring up everywhere, wars, famine, and great confusion. Many people on the earth will starve to death, and those who escape starvation will be killed in war. All right, Yahawashi spoke of wars and rumors of wars. Let me grab that. It's going to be not just, of course, it's going to be global conflicts. I mean, with certain countries, mainly America, Russia, NATO, the EU, China, North Korea, Iran. But it's going to be fightings in between the. It's going to be civil wars, fighting in between, citizens, of this country and other countries. All right, because you're going to have those that's trying to save America, and those that are trying to revive America at the same time and bring forth a new type of government. So it's going to be a lot of confusion out there. This is Matthew 24 and 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed of Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So that these are all tokens, these are all signs of the end. All right. I want to get a scripture as it pertains to the inflation. All right, and another scripture. Let's see. This is Revelation 6 and verse 6. It reads, "And I heard a voice." It says the third seal famine. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat upon him with a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. All right, so it said a measure of wheat for a penny, 3 measures of barley for a penny. That's a day's work, okay, for basically a penny, okay, and a day's work for one meal. That's how bad it's going to get. And a day's work might not even get you a meal; it may get you a half a meal or a quarter of a meal. That's how bad shit is going to get. All right, where people, the scripture is going to say this is in the time of Nehemiah during the Persian captivity when there was famine, it's going to say dearth. All right, this is Nehemiah 5 and 1, and there was a great cry from the people and their wives against their brethren, the Jews, and they were set in Slakia, for they were that said, We our sons and our daughters are many, therefore we take up corn for them that we may eat and live. So also some also they were that's Sakya. Some also there were that said, We have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses that we might buy corn because of the dearth. And the dearth means famine. Okay, so they mortgaged their lands, their vineyards, their houses. They had to sell their houses just to buy food. Hey, it's going to get bad like that out here, where people, they may sell their car or whatever they have to eat. All right, it's going to get really, Jack. People are going to really, people are going to really suffer. There's a lot of suffering that's going to take place. But the elect got to go through it too. But the elect is going to have abundance. The elect is not going to be like these people that didn't take heed, and people that didn't cleave unto the words of Yahawashi Mawashah. Or this is Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In the day when the keepers, actually I'll start at the top. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. It says, hey, remember the Creator, remember Yahawashi in the day of thy youth, because the evil days are coming. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. All right, the grinders cease. The grinders represent the workers. The next verse is going to say, the same thing, but it says, those that look out of the windows be darkened. People are looking for something in the future, but it's the future of America, the future, your life that you once knew. All right, your easy life, or your comfortable life. All right, it's going to be a thing of the past. All right, everyone's going to come on hard times. All right, even those that the Edomites, they're going to come on hard times too, but they're going to be able to, they have savings, and they have more resources than Jake, but eventually they're going to fall on hard times too. All right, you saw that during the pandemic, where you saw Edomites out there in those food pantry lines and shit. Okay, everyone caught some form of hell in that pandemic. All right, but it's going to get worse here when Jacob's trouble, when these calamities, when these plagues really hit here in America hard. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. And doors being shut in the street represents the storehouses, represents these markets. All right. When the sounding of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, the grinding, like I said, represents the workers. All right, but there's not going to be any jobs out there. Jobs are going to be scarce. That's another scarce resource, is in employment. You got everybody, whether, you got people that everyone's in the same market for the same jobs. All right. Some people are not qualified enough. Some people are overqualified. It just depends on the employer. All right. And you got a lot of jobs that are laying people off right now, where, because of AI is taking over. All right. The AI don't have no sick days. The AI don't got no 401ks. The AI don't take no breaks. The AI is working 24 hours. All right. So, hey, Esau that owns these companies, they're going to take AI over a human person all the time, or every day, as long as they can do the job. All right. But hey, this is the times that we're living in. It's going to, they're just fighting over, the food that is given there. But when people are going to eventually fight over food in the stores that they have to buy. All right. And then it's going to come to a point where you can't go into these stores without your a facial scan or a palm scan. All right, and we already know what that's getting to. Okay, so everything is we're getting to the, it may seem like things are not moving as fast, but things are moving fast. All right, you just have to have eyes to see. The Lord has to open your eyes to see and understand, and the times that we're living in. And people don't realize, man, all it's going to take is one incident for shit to just, shit to pop off. All right, whether it be an EMP, some type of false flag attack, the crash of the dollar. All right, you already see several banks going out of, several banks are closing down or falling. So it's something big is going to happen, and you have to be ready. You have to be, on your watch. All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect, and I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakakodash. Shalom.